it's really here yet. Excuse me. Um, yeah. I thought I should start playing this or something and live streaming it. Just cause there's some partial news today that got me really stirred up. Plus today's inauguration day, so I gotta enjoy my day somehow. Um, See, I'd like this suit more if the color palette was different. So far, I just like the look of it being kind of just grunge. This suit is... There was a version of this suit I wanted, not this one. And it never renders in. Every time it's here, it never renders in, so I just don't even bother trying. Same with this one. Does anything render in, actually? Partially. The fuck is this? Oh, it's... It looks interesting. It looks like Ronald McDonald. Oh, wow. Partially tempted. Just call it the Ronald McDonald fucking Black Widow stream. Jeez. Tempting. I'm kind of just like swaying forward and back, trying to appease myself mentally. But yeah. Discussion. Today, well, this happened like a few days ago actually, but today, for some reason, a lot of people that I watch are talking about it because some articles were talking about it. Neil Druckmann, director of Last of Us 2 and I believe partial director of Last of Us 1, wants to make a Punisher game, or expressed an interest in making a Punisher game and a Ghost Rider game, and he expressed other interests besides just superhero games like Cowboy Bebop and stuff, but Punisher and Ghost Rider were the main ones that caught a lot of attention. And I'm of the boat who was like, gameplay wise, Naughty Dog could work. You know, we could say what we want about Last of Us 2's story, but we can't deny the visceral nature that was the combat and the vast improvements of it from the first game. Same with Uncharted, you know, the combat, the gunplay, like that's what you expect out of the Punisher. So I think they could work in regards to that. Story-wise, that's the real issue I have. You know, um, if you watch the previous videos where I've partially talked about the previous Punisher games, which I felt it's kind of ironic that I started reading Punisher, was watching a bunch of Punisher videos on the Punisher game, and now we have a possibility of a game being made. And like, I don't know. Um, Sorry, I'm like looking at stuff just to get myself situated. But this one, story-wise, I think it'd be a mess. I think he could probably make a tight story if he wasn't so occupied with trying to push message and trying to implement, specific agendas into his game. So it could work, because, like, Punisher is not without politics and the different varying things that,
Greetings, Avengers.
like, it's not without
Resistance
specific
Intel has identified
agendas.
the location of another shield
Shut
vault.
up, Jarvis.
AIM
Jeez.
appears to be in the area,
Come
likely
on.
seeking the same thing. Find the vault and recover its
The fuck
resources
you
before our
doing
enemies have a
here?
chance to find it.
Come on. I'm trying to talk. But yeah, the Punisher's not without specific agendas and politics and shit like that. But since I've been reading Garth Ennis's runs of like the Punisher, like Punisher Max and Welcome Back Frank, if they do make a Punisher game, they need to fucking pull from those books. They can't try and like change the character from what he is, to push their narrative of, because it's right now Punisher's a fucking hot topic with everything that's happened over here in the US. I would want them, if they do end up making the game, I would want them to bring Garth Ennis on, like they did for the 2004 Punisher game, and have him like partially write with them or as a consultant with them.
Your signal detector should pick up a shield frequency when you get close to its location. Scout out the area ahead of you to locate it.
My ideal would be just to have Volition make the game, since they made the 2004 one, but they aren't a super big company, and they're probably
search through this area
really occupied with something else,
your
like
signal detector should
Saints
pick up
Row.
its frequency when you get close to it.
I was gonna play Black Widow because, for the topic, but I really need to, I've really been trying to get Hulk here up to max.
Director Fury didn't mark this shield vault on any official maps. The only way to find them is by using the signal detector.
Like, I was watching some clips from the Punisher show, because I was looking up Punisher game, right? And of course, it was showing some of the show clips, and I was watching one, and one of my thought processes was,
you should scout the nearby area.
well, they can't get like his hand-to-hand combat, and I thought of Abby, and I'm like, well, her hand-to-hand combat was pretty visceral, and so they could realize that, despite it being Abby. I didn't play the game, mind you. I watched several people's Let's Play of it. I specifically watched PewDiePie's first, I believe. And yeah. Like, I could even acknowledge that the gameplay for it looked, like a vast improvement from the first game. But I can't pretend like the plot is perfect. And it's not like I don't get the message. I get the message. I just don't like how the message is done. And in one video I watched talking about this by the real rejects is like, you know, it got me a little agitated, but I just was like, well, it's their opinion, you know, I can't change their opinion, you know, and it's just like, um, they're just like, you know, you may not like the story, but you could at least agree that he put effort in. And it's like, alright,
When your
that's
signal
great.
detector picks
Effort
up the
is
vault
great.
frequency,
You could give something
follow it to reach the vault
110%.
location.
But his 110% didn't really work well for a lot of people. I want it to work well all the way, you know. I want it to just be perfect, and I want a lot of these things to be perfect. You know, I'm playing an imperfect game as we speak because it's like the only fucking thing I have where I can play the Hulk or Thor. You know, if I had a Switch, I'd play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That's just the sad part. You know, if I had the remaster of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 on here, I'd be playing that instead of this, and that's just facts. Sucks, but you know, I have hopes that, you know, a year down the line, this game will be improved, but I highly doubt it. It just, I don't know. I seriously don't want Neil Druckmann directing Punish. And then they'll probably just go, yeah, the Punisher's a Republican. Having probably never read the Garth Ennis stuff. It's like, I don't think Frank would be a Republican. I think Frank would be like, whatever suits him. It's like gun control. I don't abide by gun control. Like, he doesn't really care. Whatever serves his endless war, you know? But they'll try to shoehorn that stuff in. And I'm sure they would probably implement some stuff that he did in the comics where, like, some cops expressed being big fans of his and shit, and then he just confronted them.
Proceed to
I
the
was just
designated
like,
location.
no. You should not admire me. I'm a terrible human being. What I do is bad. You know? And they'll just probably put that in there, and it's like, yeah, that's accurate to something he's done. But I know why they'd be putting it in there. Like, some people even say this game is pretty woke, and I'm just like, it is sometimes. Like, some people had complaints about Black Widow's design, I'd show you, but, you know, because she's not super sexualized, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Short hair. I like short hair. I think short hair is hot. But it's also practical, you know. Within this setting, it's not like Black Widow hasn't had short hair in the comics.
They may drop something useful if defeated.
And if you're lucky enough to get the classic, Black Widow skin when you pre-order the game, and you know that she could look sexy in this. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, somebody, like, women have to look sexy in games. I don't care, you know. one thing I'm hoping when they add Scarlet Witch to this, um, they give her an accurate costume. Like we saw with the art for Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel when she was Miss Marvel in her classic suit, she had shorts on, and that looked really fucking goofy. Like when someone I watched, Kyle, I think is how you pronounce his name. He showed that, and I thought that was just like something from like the movie, you know. And no, it's from the game. It's a poster in the game.
One of our shield allies
And I
nearby
just
could
looked
use
at
some
it like,
help.
what the fuck? Are you serious? Um,
Oh, is it over?
Kate's classic suit, but you have to do the battle pass for
Look for a
her.
chest with gear
um,
nearby.
um, it shows, it's pretty accurate, you know, it shows some skin. I like it, you know.
That did it. Theo, work your magic.
You're safe now.
Sorry. I recently had a rethought of like my
There,
opinion
up
on
ahead.
Kate as a character, because when I initially put like I don't have any attachment to her in the comics, you know. But then playing this, I was like, you know, she seems like an interesting character. She seems like a kind of female Tony Stark, but not being a billionaire, you know. You know, and I was like, I'm fine with this. And then I started rethinking, you know, her introduction and her abilities. I'm like, well, clearly this isn't from the comics. She can't teleport. Um, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a katana in the comics. Like when she was coming out, you know, they didn't show gameplay for her. They just had like I think stills of her face and shit. And it's like, oh, okay. So my initial thought was, oh, Clint's gonna have a katana, but her combat is gonna be largely focused with like her bow. And then we saw gameplay of her, and she has a katana. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So there's just gonna be no distinction between these characters at all then, which is terrible. Um, but in her introduction, she's just like award-winning like gymnast, world-class fucking archer, genius. And it's like, okay, I get it. You're perfect. And it becomes that really big, just, you know, I could do everything type of thing. You know, and I don't think in the comics she's all that. I think in the comics she might be just a gymnast that is trained by Hawkeye. Like, you don't have to be perfect at everything. Like, I hate when writers do that. It's like, well, I want my character to be awesome. No, you could have flawed characters. She doesn't seem very flawed, you know. I think in terms of her story and how it looks for future content to be added into this game, I'm fine with it because it's representative of like, well, this is probably the tier of quality we'll get with the game, like with the stories from each of these characters. I'm fine with it in regards to that. Then, you know, even if because I had also rethought this, it's like there was a lot of moments where it didn't feel necessarily super linear, like some of the character missions for Kamala or Tony. You know, a lot of the Tony missions, everybody fucking loved the Tony missions. Um, and then you have some linear missions for the Hulk, You know, him running down that hallway. And Kate didn't really have that. So, you know, this game doesn't necessarily have to feel linear, but it has to. Just because those missions, they felt largely very much alone, you know? And they were. You were a single character traversing a specific, like, area. Um, Kate didn't have that. And it felt very awkward because she had a lot of moments where you're walking around with this of the Avengers with you, and you're not conversing during your plot. Like, I'll have my Thor with me, but she won't talk to Thor. Like, it was weird, and she would interact with whichever character had the spotlight, which was Tony and Cap. You know, she conversed with Tony more, which made it feel super weird because it came off kind of flirtatious to me. Like, jeepers. Don't need a repeat of Batgirl and Batman. Um. Everybody's super anxious with this game at the moment,
I'm kind of
given
disappointed
the
it's
lack
over.
of, you know, communication from the devs at the moment. Which also has me concerned, you know. I forgot which video it was, they were talking about how developers were potentially moved off this game to focus on games that they'll actually make money from. And it's like, damn, like, it's Battlefront 2 all over again. It's like, we'll get, if it's Battlefront 2, I'm hoping they go the route Battlefront 2 where they just do like an overhaul, improve the game, you know. People will come back. Like, Battlefront 2 has had a fucking resurgence recently, which is great. It's sad because EA decided to end the service of the game, which I think was due largely to just them not making any money on it anymore. So they can work on another one, which I hope does not happen. Um, like, I do not want Square Enix to just go, well, fuck, we fucked up on this game, release like 10 characters and get off, you know? Then at that point, what would we have? 2 of each character, 16 characters. Like, come on. Come on. Like, I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 has like 40 characters. Like, I'm fine with at least just 40 characters. Oh, actually, no. Because if they just end up, some of them being like doubles, like, I do not want 40 comprised of a large majority of it being doubles, you know? Kinda love the frame rate.
That's your last mistake. Got you a present.
I don't know if I spoke about this, but I recently was playing some Wolverine Origins on my PlayStation 3. Man, did that game get me depressed. It's like such a great game that I'll have to just I was gonna check, sorry. But I'm just restricted to only playing my PlayStation 3. Um, but I was playing it and trying to envision how Wolverine could work in this game. And I'm doing all this fun shit, and I'm like, some of this fun shit won't even be in the game. Like, the takedowns you have in those games, in that game, is fucking phenomenal. I sent a video of me fighting these invisible enemies with shotguns, right? And the takedown you can do is like you you force the shotgun onto them and blow their fucking heads off. and and you press triangle and it's interactive. And they're all interactive. That's another thing, you know. It feels visceral and cool, and there's different fucking takedown animations and different takedowns for each enemy. It's not just all the same, and they're all very interesting and cool, right? But in this, it's you press two buttons and you go into an animation, and yeah, and it's random, and you have two if you start the game, if you do the battle pass, you got two. Actually, let me check, because my Hulk is pretty much done with his fucking battle pass. Um, if you do all the battle pass all the way through, you end it with 3 takedowns. The rest you have to pay for. And part of me initially when I got this game, I was like, it's whatever, paying for a takedown. Not that bad. No, it's terrible. After, wait, after playing Wolverine Origins where I had those options for free and they were so cool and they felt fun because you were interacting with it. Like, there's none of that in this, and that's depressing. Let's see. Like, a lot of these look cool, don't get me wrong, but they're just letting, like, an animation play on your screen when it happens. And that's not very entertaining. Then, like, yeah, there's a lot of skins in this game, but a lot of them are just recolors, redesigns, or reuses. So technically, you have, let's say, you have scruffy, bearded, disheveled Hulk, right? We'd say the broken Hulk is the basic one, right? Beard, broken, disheveled. That's one. Then you have um the iconic one, which would be this one. Basic, not much going on. Kind of the same as the broken Hulk, except he's not bearded and not damaged and shit. And then you have, I guess you'd say, Berserk Hulk. Kind of like basically the Broken Hulk, except he's got a shirt on and it's a little torn and doesn't really have a beard anymore. Then you have the Joe Fixit, the suit. And those are the basic ones. You have one, two, three, four. Four. The only difference is slight tweaks, and that's not much, you know. And then they give us different color variations to go, well, look, you have other options. It's like, no. That's lazy and boring. And then if you want something cool like the Planet Hulk skin, the Planet Hulk skin, you gotta pay for it. $14, little man. Put that shit in my hand. No. No! And I had to wait weeks for this shit to come out. Because it's, every Thursday. Like, I had to wait weeks. They showed this fucking suit off in one of the trailers before the game came out. Or one of the gameplay shits that before the game came out. And I was waiting. Like, I knew it was coming. And it came, and I was like, fuck yeah, here it is. Like, I just had to wait forever. Like, I almost bought this one back when the game started because the perception was, oh, if I buy this skin, I get other color variations of it, so I can get just basic Planet Hulk. I was close to buying the skin because I was misinformed. Like, I've obviously bought some skins. Like, I spent the 1,400 on this skin, I believe, which I still, question to this day. Um, but like the Iron Man skin that I have on the illustrious Iron Man skin, um, I got that when it was on when the sale was going on in the store, and I was given the units. It felt, like a safe buy at that time. The Thor skin I bought because it was like 700, despite it, being completely new and a little bit different. Like, that shit was, I think, blue or purple rarity, and it was cheap compared to what we're used to with the fucking legendary. But then they're so all over the place with their fucking prices. Like, jeez. It's questionable what they're fucking doing. Whatever they're doing. Because we already know that they're working on Clint right now. Taking their sweet time. Now B. We'll get him like next year. Yeah, back to Wolverine. Like, just a lot of the cool shit in that game is probably not gonna happen. Like, I want his range to be his lunge so bad. Like, I keep saying it because I don't want them to just sit there and space out and not listen and then give us something retarded like, oh, sorry, that's not a very polite word. Something stupid like him flinging sparks from his fucking claws. Like, my little brother was like, oh, it sounds cool. I'm like, no, that's not something Wolverine does. That's not cool. And it would look so stupid. Having him lunge is smart. That's something he does. It would look cool. It has versatility. I wish I had more pull within the game industry, and I will never. Largely due to just me being vastly uninteresting and just being not politically correct, despite being a multiracial dude. a multiracial millennial. The Woken of Asgard. The Woken of Asgard. Oof. That reminds me of Thor's mission. When I was doing Thor's mission, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." Yes, it's a snowy level, but it felt different enough, you know. Like, oh, this is a snowy level, but the environment is slightly different. Like, it's more wooded. Um, but when they were hyping up the Vulcan, I'm like, oh, new enemy type? No. They're the same enemy types. They just call them something different. And I had done the Thor mission before I had gotten into, like, the later missions in the story. So when you fight the teleporting enemies in that, I thought they were genuinely new enemies that were specific to that. I was like, oh, teleporting enemies. This is the teleporting robots. And then I got into the later half of the game and say, oh no, they're common-ish, you know.
Okay,
So
I
then
think
it just
that
kind
was all
of
of them
ruined
for the
that
time
story
being.
for me. And I think they made you like fight a bunch of ice adaptoids because of ice giants. It's like, how hard would it have been to make an ice giant like model, like quick? Like, oh look, an ice giant. Like just put it over top. Because the ice giants in the first Thor movie aren't super giant, you know. I'd be fine if they just reskinned them, and I'd be like, damn, wow, look, an ice giant. At least I'd have the illusion, and it won't be fucking broken by them just being bots. It's like, oh, Loki, you're employing these machines. What's going on? And when he showed up, you're like, oh, it's just pretend Thor. Like, that was a, we wanted Loki, but we didn't have time to put Loki. It's like, then why did you put Loki? Jeez. This is my full sprint. Don't like it. Make me a fucking bulldozer, bro. That's one of my gripes. Traversal needs some improvements for some characters, like so badly, dude. Cause like, you're telling me. I'm not the only one who saw it, right? But it's like, this is just makes up Hulk's gameplay. Like, running is a joke, 'cause it's just like, like again, he's a heavy boy, but can I just be a fucking truck, dude?
Look for a chest containing special resources nearby.
Like, look how hard that was for me to get on that fucking box. Like, I've been saying this since day one. A charge jump for him would have helped. Because it's so momentum based that you have to have fucking jumped like once. Like, give me a charge jump. Give me a faster sprint. Make me a fucking bulldozer, man. And for God's sake, let me pick up a car and throw it. I mean, I'm the Hulk. Maybe let me use them as fucking boxing gloves. And they also just need to give us an incentive to actually, I don't know, do good with the combat. Like, give me a style meter, man. Give me some combo meter. Jeepers. Just so I didn't miss. Okie doke. So now we could go to the vault. My completionist brain has been silenced. No, it hasn't. There's a chest. And this jump is just so low. I feel like it'd be so much higher. Boo-doo-doop.
You have discovered the location of the shield vault. Please step inside and take the elevator down.
Okay, take a breather, kids.
The automated systems are recognizing you. Please proceed to the activation area down below.
What? Yes. Okay, I'm confused.
Joke.
Hey, they actually have Hulk talking in this game. That was like something sorely missed in a lot of
Activate its
the
main terminal so we can begin.
early Marvel stuff until Ragnarok. Like, he talks in the first Avengers movie, but like once, and then you never hear him talk again. Now I already know where the chests are in this area, largely, so there's always typically one back here. There used to be one back there, but I haven't found one back there since, like, the beta.
The vault remains intact. Complete code verification to unlock the contents of the vault.
Awaiting first code verification entry. Code verification entry.
I like how they tell me respawn is restricted, like I'm gonna actually die doing this.
Code verification entry verified. Commencing code authentication.
Taking advantage of some of the versatility with Hulk's boulders or debris.
Charging EMP.
I prefer the large debris to be like enhanced,
Charging EMP.
but
Stand clear of the vault.
you know, the gear drops haven't been in my favor regards to that. I think you could find one that gives you both debris, but obviously the luck of RNG has to be on your side.
Code verification entry verified. Awaiting third code verification entry. Code verification entry verified. Sequence verified.
I was gonna do a video because I had gotten a like a edited video of like a Hulk build that I had, and I was gonna call it Meteor Hulk because it made the large debris like plasma based, and I was just gonna like nuke them with fucking meteors. But I still have the video, I just haven't fucking made it. Like, I was tempted to make an all gamma build for him, but his gamma attacks are like if you want to just max out the amount of gamma you're doing, you could do that. But he already does just so much substantial gamma damage as is. I don't like putting so much emphasis on it. That I like to build for multi statuses.
Bring them down!
Code verification entry verified.
Smells super perfumey right now.
Code verification entry verified. Awaiting board code verification entry. Code verification entry verified. Final sequence verified.
Sorry, I'm like super focused.
Initiating next tier of the vault unlock protocol.
I was mainly doing this vault mission because I needed like upgrade modules to get my Hulk to like max
Vault door
150.
opening. Please mind your step and thank you for your patience.
The game says that it'll pick up anything that's like dropped during the mission if you don't pick it up yourself. But I don't trust it, so I try to be thorough. And forget about it.
Mission success. Another shield vault successfully secured and kept out of the hands of aides. Excellent work, Avengers. With this
World
vault
Breaker.
recovered, we've bolstered our resources and are one step closer to fully rebuilding shields.
It's
Our
not
agents in
good
the
by any
field will
means.
continue
I don't
searching for
know.
more hidden vaults, as this certainly wasn't the last one.
It's just a recognizable name. And it's PIM particles. I hate PIM particles, dude. It's not that it's terrible or ineffective, it's just PIM particles, bro. Why do I just keep getting small debris? Like, get that off my fucking screen. basically don't want any blue. I'm not gonna invest in leveling up any more gear besides like whatever I have. Like whatever like one of these cuz I need these to like fully max out. So, let's see. I was leveling this up, but this one looks a bit better. Hmm. Should I go with this one? Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. Look at this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Let's try and see. So I'm pretty much on the cusp. I just need this to be my Lord Jesus. I just gotta do this. Okay, let's see. All blue, so they're gonna go to the trash. I'm pretty much done leveling up the Hulk. Like, yeah, I need some exotics for him, but I'm not gonna work towards getting any exotics within the game's current state, so for now, we move on to another character to level up, and my second favorite character being Thor, I think I'm gonna work with Thor. Um, I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe I want to work with Black Widow because it's been a while since I've played her, or Kamala. Um, and they're not really leveled up very much. I think I'm gonna go with Black Widow for now, just cause, you know. I kind of like her just base look in this game. Like this just looks cool to me. I don't know. I know. I hate the Stark Tech. Like some of the Stark Tech suits are just so fucking ugly. Like this just looks ugly to me. But this is her iconic ramp. Yeah, it's alright. Uh, the McDonald's one I really want. But I've got this one, so I'll just use it. Like, this is the one that was talking about being her classic skin that, you know, is kind of sexy, you know? It's tight, it's shiny. Not much cleavage going on. Like, she's very well known for her cleavage in the comics. Eh, I don't necessarily care. But I know some people are complaining. especially with the fact that Scarlett Johansson was very, not against showing cleavage. Like when you first see her in the movies, like in Iron Man 2, oof, oof. They knew what they were doing, if you know what I mean. Uh, yeah, I don't have much for her. I gotta change that. So typically, what I do when I'm leveling up, a lot of people do this, I think too. I just go into the harm room. So, we're gonna go down 5. Speaking further on like the Punisher being made by Naughty Dog, I don't know. They gotta also go beyond just gunplay. With him, I feel like the 2004 Punisher game goes beyond just gunplay. Um, you have the interrogations, and those people remember the interrogations from that game. So maybe have something along the lines of that, or like really visceral kills, like environmental kills. That would be pretty cool, I think. It's been a while since I've played her, so
Get ready.
be patient.
What a waste.
I'm just terrible. Isn't it like... need to try that out.
You're wasting your time.
Alright, so she does... I hate that you have to, like, hold... the circle button to vault over, like...
Don't look now.
Did not mean to do that. Again, did not mean to do that.
And it was going so well for you.
The game is showing its true colors.
Hostile neutralized.
was the last of them.
You gotta be kidding me.
Taking my shot.
Wow, animation, cool.
Here's an energy boost.
Motherfucker, I keep thinking reload is
You're
L1.
wasting your time.
I don't know why. What have I been playing? It's just reload is thing. Whatever.
Nice work.
You're about to be toast.
Oh yeah, and in all this talks of Punisher, I haven't talked about Ghost Rider, like, 'cause he mentioned Ghost Rider. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Like,
Guess I do.
fucking, I keep doing that. I envision, like, Ghost Rider being done by, like, Santa Monica Studios, Sony Santa Monica Studios. Like, spoilers for God of War, by the way, but when you get the Blades of Chaos,
Good for now.
and in the Blades of Chaos in the old God of War games, is very much just what I imagine Ghost Rider's chains working as, you know? So, like, that's what I would probably, who I would probably want to do it, but, you know, I highly doubt they'd ever do it just because preoccupied with, like, God of War, you know?
In Russia, Black Widow steps on you.
What the fuck was that? That was weird. Like, come on, that was weird, wasn't it? She put on an accident. It doesn't make sense. I think it just goes with her in this game because she's kind of super awkward in this, which I kind of like. You know? So it could go hand in hand with her awkwardness. I don't mind. I do not remember what this bitch does.
Hostile neutralized.
All right. Who's next?
Is it over?
You're about to be choked.
My brother is a Black Widow main. I figured he would when I played the beta, you know. He's very much into like Lara Croft and shit.
The flesh wound.
You're done.
How did he go unnoticed?
The enemies have been defeated.
Weird. Probably leveled up like what, 2 times during that? For like, I had different means of like leveling up months back when the game first came out because there was a glitch that would happen during like hives where enemies would just keep spawning during certain missions. So I would just do that until I was just like, alright, I'm done, I can go now. But you know, I also did harm room challenges. I leveled up 5 times. Okay. I'm just gonna pick whatever. I don't really care. Um, I think I'm gonna stop here because you know this game. After I usually just play like an hour of this game. Um, I might live stream it again. You know, level up Black Widow or Kate. So yeah, see you people. Toodles. 1 viewer, 2 view. Whatever. Bye.